was that this.
I find amongst the audience a lot of architects, engineers, civil engineers and electrical engineers and experts on energy. I'd like to indicate what we have been doing for the in the aviation sector on reducing our carbon footprint or becoming more efficient. So it will not be very specific to, I'll say, for buildings only. It will be overall what we are doing and how that is impacting the world from energy point of view, from carbon footprint point of view. As you know, aviation is, we are one of the, I'll say as a transport service, we are one of the big polluters. We do release 2% of the CO2 emission, but the bad part is this is released at the topmost layer in the environment, so that is doing almost a 10% damage to the environment. So that is a very, very much detrimental for overall health in the environment. And we have been aiming to reduce this carbon emission on the planet. We have this total emission where aviation is, I'll say, is involved or responsible for it. It is one of the major portion is where we all travel, and then it is at the airports when the terminal buildings are there and where the aircrafts are moving, all the vehicles are moving. So we are trying to control all these type of emissions and all energy footprint at all these points. So collectively, so that overall footprint of energy, carbon footprint is reduced and energy consumption is controlled. Carbon footprint from aircrafts, as you know, is standard. Start about the engines, auxiliary power operations, taxiing while aircraft taxiing or taking off and landing, and from buildings general, terminal buildings, hangar, runways, whatever buildings we are having, and lighting, and ground equipments which are working at the airport. These are all responsible, and all other multimodal connections like car, buses, trams, these are all responsible for energy consumptions at the airport. We are also impacting a lot of environment, which is we are responsible for that air quality, water quality in the vicinity, and a lot of solid waste is generated at the airport and hazardous material is generated at the airport. These are all to be dealt and handled so that we live in a cleaner environment near the airport. In order to reduce the carbon footprint while the aircraft is on move at the airport, we have better taxiway planning and more number of gates, so that less and less fuel is burned while the aircraft is taxiing. And we also plan all the other connections like hangars where the aircraft is parked in the night, and multimodal transport also is responsible. Suppose you park somewhere at a long distance and then other transport is taken, so that also results into a lot of energy waste. So that is how we plan in such a way that it is a minimum travel time is involved, so least energy waste occurs at the airport. So what are the areas where we can have a opportunity for a large scale energy conservation? That is, we have a very large roof area at the airports. So as it was shown that it can be used, I mean, we can have a solar voltaic cell at all these roof, have energy saving there. We can have a natural air at the natural light at the airport, avoid a artificial lighting. We use large scale glasses. So glass surfaces are, to give a good ambience, we use a lot of glass. So type of the glass, double layer glass or highly efficient glasses are to be used. And the water generated, whatever water we are using, we are again treating it and reusing it. So like this, we are trying to control a lot of, conserve the water, conserve the energy. These are the broader in block form where all this can be used. We can use solar energy, that is all we are using. We are also using geothermal energy for doing the cooling in the certain situations. We have a lot of IT applications which results in lower energy footprint, like better fleet management and better resource management if it is done, so it can be done. We have a better handling equipments, handling machines, that is a baggage and cargo machines. If these are much more efficient, we have a lesser footprints. Another great thing that we have a better air navigational facilities at the airport. These are the technologies which general public, which is not very much conversant, they'll be happy to know these technologies do result a lot of energy reduction while the aircraft is in flight. Building, of course, you are familiar with how the building footprint can be controlled, energy footprint can be controlled by controlling HVAC, lighting, better energy management, building management systems. All these are being used at the airport to have a lower energy footprint. We have gone in Airport Authority, we have also gone for various stages of going for having a green building, green terminal building. One of the stages at the design stage itself, we go through the screening process so that various elements are controlled so that it becomes an energy efficient building. And we have been trying to go for GRIHA rating for these airports. And various airports have been selected, and we have a body, international body, which is Airport Council International. They also do the carbon accreditation program. So this is selected airports are chosen, and these are analyzed. First the problem areas are analyzed, and then we control their energy footprint. And then there is an accreditation program for that. So level 1, level 2, level 3 type, these programs are there. Through that we control a lot of energy footprint for the airports. We take, we are, whatever site we are selecting, we have to see from various point of view that we conserve the topsoil, because it may be, while we are making a runway, we have to cut a lot of runway and do a lot of earth movement. So that is, we see that it is a topsoil is rightly preserved, and erosion doesn't occur while we do the construction. We also address the noise and water waste issues for the airport. And we are also, once we plan an airport, at any greenfield airport, this is also a big issue, that trees all around the area are the problem for us. So we have to cut the trees which are not wanted, and again plant the trees where these can be allowed. So a lot of area planning has to be done to control the environment all around at the airport. Then the building forms, building which we are taking, sometimes we have limitation of the building because of its runway orientation, and then still we control a lot of shape of the building, maximizing its ingress of the daylight and minimizing air conditioning load in the building, because everybody looks forward best facilities at any airport, and then naturally these facilities come with a higher energy consumption at the airport. So we have to do a right balance so that energy is least used at those airports. Of late, airport authorities have started using solar energy at various airports. We are going for a new type of contracts where we enter into a contract with that particular agency for